The more you indulge in daydreaming, in Hindi it is called Diva Swapna. The more you indulge in your own fairy world, the world of your own imagination, the more dreamy you are, the more castle you make in the air. You are planning, the more you plan for the future. And you are postponing the present for the future. Because the future of your plan is going to be very rosy. The greater will be your suffering. Once those dreams are broken, you will have nothing in your hand. This is a sign of a retarded person, an immature person, that you are all the time postponing living in this present moment for your future dreams. That if I have $10 million or $1 billion, then my life will be happy. If I have a palace or if I have Rolls Royce, then my life will be really very high. Existence has no obligation to fulfill your dreams. It is all within your head. It has no corresponding reality outside. That's why those who live in their dreams, they can be called idiot. They live in their own private idiom. And when you are affected and influenced by what others are telling you, that in this job you will get this much of money when you retire, then you are showing you are a fool, you are an idiot. Don't blame others, because these people are just, they have no real existence. They have a dream existence. So when you are affected by what they are saying, then you are showing your own consciousness. You are revealing your own inner state. If there was even a little bit maturity in the people, they would have learned a very great lesson from Corona. You are not even certain about the next moment, and you are planning what will happen after retirement. And then you claim big things that now I don't get shock. You don't get shocks because you are living in your own dream, that one day your dream will come true. And all around you, there are idiots, the so-called influencer, these people whom you regard as your idols. your trendsetters, your messiahs, your celebrities. They have corrupted you. They have influenced you in a very wrong way, that the more you dream, the better life you will have. It is possible that for few people, their dreams, the kind of dream they are dreaming may have worked, and it can work, but you don't. For few people, maybe their dreams may have materialized, and it can look from outside that they have become successful in materializing their dream. Even if you succeed, but it is still a dream, and dream can be broken anytime, and you don't know the whole story of any of them. And just because few people are exception to the rule, and that also it looks from outside, you don't know how much thorns are there inside their dream. But they will show happy face when they are in public. They will have Jimmy Carter smile when they are in public. So when the things like corona happens, these are warning signal from existence. Now you should become little mature. But if you see the whole world, they have learned nothing at all. As I see, they have deteriorated more. No change for good has happened. They have become even far worse than what they were. They have become very insensitive. They have become very dull, and I'm not saying that everyone has deteriorated, but most of the majority of the people, what they were doing before, they have started doing with more intensity. When in my place where I am living, at the time of corona, everyone started making, repairing their house, or they were making it bigger. When so many people are dying and you don't know that whether you have chance for survival, you should do the most essential thing at that time. Instead of trying to be more conscious, more centered, instead of trying to enrich your inner being, you are trying to become more rich outside. And if you increase little bit of the same thing, it is just increase in quantity. It is not going to change the quality of your life. But it is very clear that majority of people are just like robots. They are just programmed computer. And there is no possibility that they can change. But those who have little bit of awareness, at least they should become more alert. Otherwise, you may be going in right direction. But if you are still clinging to your past, your unconscious past, if you are in the two boat together, then you won't be able to move much in your search. You will be moving 2 steps up and 2 step down all the time. Now I saw it three days back that WHO is saying that there can be another virus which will be 7 times more powerful than this COVID-19, and it will kill 20 times more people than what it has killed, because these viruses they can mutate and they can make copies of themselves millionfold. And I heard yesterday that when some people did some string operation on Pfizer, they were trying to make changes in this virus, make it far more lethal and dangerous. I don't know whether this news is correct or not, but these people can do these things. That's why it is said, and all the enlightened people, Osho has said it very clearly, if your consciousness is of the lower level compared to your knowledge of the science or whatever knowledge you have, then you can prove to be very destructive. If you believe that your life can become richer, more happy, more meaningful, more significant, only when you have more power, more money, then you will do anything to have more power, more money. And now these people have become addicted. They have learned that they can earn 100 times, 1,000 times more in very quickly if they create some biological weapon. And that is what the whole Western world is always doing. It's not just about this biological weapon. They can spread this virus. It's not necessary the virus will be something natural. It can be all artificial. And they are doing in everything the same thing. So how can you rely them? How can you trust them? The war which is happening between Russia and Ukraine, it could have been avoided. And any war that happens anywhere in the world, it is all meant to make those countries who made weapons for war more richer. That is their whole business, the business of the military industrial complex. So when you have some awareness about the kind of people whom we call leaders, who have any influence in the world, they are not people who can be relied upon. They know only the language of power and the language of money. For that they will do anything, because they have nothing inside. They are blind as far as consciousness is concerned. They are of the lowest kind of consciousness possible. They are full of poison inside. They are full of greed inside. They are full of hatred inside. So how can you trust? You can go on believing, watching movies, especially Hindi movies and other all, maybe Chinese movie, they are all emotional dramas. But those people who are running the world, they have no emotion. They don't have any feeling. For them, what they are seeking is more and more indulgence, more and more power. So if they make this kind of virus artificially, and millions of people are killed, then you will be forced to take vaccine. And their toolkit has started working. Now I saw even today, now these news are everywhere. I saw first 2 days back. Now you can see it. Now it will spread. They will say that. And those people who can influence the world, they say that to deal with this virus, there is only one way: vaccination. So it is possible that they will make more vaccine in this COVID-19. They were thinking that they can earn maximum from India because the population is highest in India. And they thought because the population is so dense, more people will die. So this was an earning ground for them. Out of graveyard of millions of people, they could have earned trillions. And they had their lobbies here, they had their agents here who were pressurizing the Indian government that 400 million people will die here and government is not ready to take Pfizer. We don't have any potential to make any vaccine. Our vaccine, even if we are successful in making it, will be not effective. So they were forcing people who were holding constitutional posts, people who were chief ministers and other influential politicians. They were doing their very best to pressurize the government to take Pfizer. And what Pfizer was saying, that you have to pay the money beforehand. And if vaccine is not ready, we will not be responsible. And whatever the result of the vaccine will be, you cannot hold us responsible. You have to first agree to this condition. And if there is some problem, you can only go to American court. So it is very clear, it was very clear for the Indian government that they are trying to take advantage of this problematic situation. So the Indian government took a risk. They asked their scientists that can you make this vaccine quickly? Because we don't want to be dependent on them. And what these American government, and especially the American government, was blackmailing many small countries that we will give them vaccine, and if you are not able to pay us back, then we will take your property. You will have to give us your valuable things, your land and other things. So this was clear-cut blackmailing. This only people who are of the lowest consciousness will do. Even at the time when people are dying, you are playing your business, you are playing your dirty games. But this is what will happen when you are not, when meditation is not taught in your schools and colleges. Only subjects which will make you more aggressive, which will make you more ambitious, which will make you more greedy. You will have all the powers, but you have no eyes. You cannot see 10 steps further. That if you are harming the world, ultimately the harm will come to you. If you are creating problem for the world. If you are taking advantage of others' suffering, it will return back to you one day. But people who have no consciousness, they are only concerned about momentary advantage. So, if they do it again, maybe it's not necessary that if the virus will be natural, they can create it. They can be, all these country can be partner in this evil thing. And even if the virus is natural, for that also, the kind of lifestyle, the kind of unconscious habit we have, the way we ape West, the way we try to be like Americans, who are the most retarded people in the world. They just believe in consumption. And if you go on consuming the things, the earth and its resources are limited. So you have to be very alert about it. If you are not responsible, if you just want freedom without responsibility will create chaos all around, will create havoc in the world. And we have all become like a programmed computer. You are worrying about that what will happen after retirement. In these coming years, so many things will happen that most of the people will pray that it is better that we should die. But instead of living totally in this moment, you are also planning about a marvelous future. You are saving money for your old age. You want your old age to be very comfortable. How can old age be very comfortable? What is the need to desire that one should be alive when one is totally sick and ill? But if you are planning for the old age, planning for your retirement, what you want to hoard things for your retirement, hoard money for your retirement, then you will live to be old. If you live in a very lukewarm way, if you don't live intensely, then you will live very long life. When there is no depth in the life will be very extended. If you burn the torch of your life from both the ends, then your life will be short. But that is real life. This kind of idea and desire is coming out of your unconsciousness, and it is also the way you are programmed and conditioned. You should be able to see the program. There is no need to worry about all those things, and you are getting affected by whatever they are saying, because you are also unconscious. You don't have the clarity that what is the point to think about. And it is not that you will have nothing. You may have little less or little more. It makes no difference. But who knows about what is going to happen 20 years after, 10 years after. So it's all, when someone is worried about after what will happen after 20 years, then that person is already dead. That person is already living in a graveyard. How to make your life more intense, more significant in this moment should be your effort. If you know how to live your life really here intensely, if you will remain alive after 20 years, you will have learned so much. You will be able to deal with that. But this is how all those people who are unconscious, who are almost mad, when they start influencing you, this is what happens. So that's why I was saying yesterday that, which perhaps I was not able to complete, that the only world leader who showed that he has some consciousness, he has some compassion, he is not a humanoid, he is not a robot, was Modi. He gave free vaccines to more than 100 countries, and he helped about 160 countries, more than 160 countries, in providing them different things like medicines and mask and other things which was needed at that time. That is how the whole world should have responded. You will see people who don't hold big posts. Whenever there will be some natural calamity, some earthquake, things like that, they will cooperate. But the way WHO and China and America, these big countries have responded, had exposed them totally. So you cannot trust these people. When they were saying earlier that this vaccine, the Pfizer, about which Vivek Agnihotri says poison, it will be 100% effective. Then later on they went on decreasing 96%, 90%, now maybe perhaps 30%. So how can you trust these people? It is said that they were already making vaccine before the corona happened. And perhaps both are in collaboration, China and America, in this. You create virus, we will create vaccine. And the Chinese also created vaccine which was said to be the worst. It had so many side effects. So if you have this illusion that all these people whom we consider as our leaders will be of any sanity, it's your idiocy. Sanity is not that easy that you can buy in any marketplace. You cannot buy consciousness in some market, in some mall, supermarket. Only if you are ready to be alone and work diligently. If you are looking everywhere, my sister is saying this, my mother is saying this, your energy is being scattered, is being wasted. Just be like an Arjun. His whole attention is on the eyes of the fish or the bird. He is not looking everywhere, he is looking totally focused. So there is all the possibility that maybe the new virus will come. So one should get ready from now onward. How you can get ready? By becoming more alert, by trusting your being more than anything else. If you trust those people who are themselves totally sick and blind, who are themselves in ditches, you are also going to fall in ditches. So don't go on dreaming about a heavenly future. If you want to live a significant life, there is only one way: to be free from your unconsciousness. Because you were living an unconscious life, you have created unconsciousness. If you want to get rid of your unconscious conditioning, then you will have to become conscious. You will have to bring the inner light. Only that light can deal with that inner darkness. I think when you are more alert, when there are problems around you, your consciousness can grow more. Because otherwise we have a tendency to go to sleep.
Yes.
So when it is trouble time, you can rise to your very best.
Yes.
So when there are problems, when it is like death is very much near you, you can feel it, the footstep of death you can feel. Then there is only one way out, that is you become more alert. And if you are not becoming alert, that means you are very asleep. When I saw that first, because I felt about these people, these are all devilish people. And maybe because Abrahamic religion is all just lust for power, whatever they are talking about is all just stories. It's nothing. And when you pray to a god for problems which you have created by being unconscious, it is all just hypocritical. It is all bogus. If you are unconscious, by praying nothing is going to happen. If you are asleep, then you will have to do things to make yourself awake. If your sleep is just physical, then you have to splash water in your eyes, take some coffee or tea, or take shower. But if your sleep is more deeper, you have mind which is of a monkey, or which is of more brutal animals, then by becoming more conscious, you can get rid of it. By praying, nothing is going to happen. So maybe all these prayers are just business. You have holy places where millions of dollars are coming, but it is helping no one. Only those people who are popes and imams, they are getting fatter and fatter.
There was once I forgot what I searched on Google, but there were images of this Malaysian. They were Malaysian. They were those imams. When I look at their face, there's totally no radiance. No radiance, no grace, no intelligence at all.
Radiance and grace you're talking about, these are worse than animals.
Correct.
If you know their life, what they are doing. In most of these masjid and these places where they teach, what they are called,
religious school.
Yeah, there is a word for it. It's sometimes even the most obvious thing goes out of your mind. So in those places where they teach, it is a place of sexual exploitation. Mostly those who small children, they are all homosexually exploited. So almost all of them are like that. So that means they are very certain that there is no God in the masjid or in those religious schools. There is no God. Otherwise, how can you rape small boys and girls in mosque and in religious educational institutions? So there is a great possibility that again there will be vaccines. And maybe most of the vaccine which they create, the real purpose is always to earn money. And people like Bill Gates, they will do business on your deathbed.